Greetings! In this video, we will work on our character's nose. A quick look at the topology before we begin. The challenge is getting this crease around the nostril, and we'll work on that topology from this crease down to the corner of the mouth. Yeah, the nose is probably the most challenging part of the face, so once we get this, the rest is pretty straightforward. I'll hide this away, and then just a quick word on the reference images. These have been scaled to 8, and they've been placed on a layer and referenced, and they're pushed well back of the origin. We've got Z forward, right? So our front was loaded on our front, and our side was loaded in the side. We'll start with a poly plane, and we'll rotate this up. I'll hit the F key to focus on that. We'll hold down the J key and just rotate that up 90 degrees on the X. We want just a basic 4 edges, and we'll scale this to 2 so that we can grid snap it over. And we want to continually be moving back and forth between our 2 orthographic views. So this will allow us to place those vertexes in each of the views and develop the shape. I'm going to grab, we'll just grab these 2 vertexes, and in this view, we'll pull them down in that direction. Now, we'll add an edge loop here. So we'll come to multi-cut, hold down the control key and the shift key, get it right at 50%. We'll grab that vertex to follow the nose there. We'll pull this one back, and then we'll add a vertical. So control shift right at 50%. So that's, and I hit the 3 key, 1 and 3, just to see how that's forming. And you want to check your views. I'll come back to 1. And we can see that that's about where we want the flow of these edges. So something like that. We're not going to be too terribly concerned about the precision of our vertex placement. What we're concerned with is the topology, getting the proper number of edges and the proper direction of the edges. And once we have the entire head completed, then we can come back and fine-tune position. We can use soft select, we can use the host of sculpting tools, but our main concern is topology. So I won't worry too much about the vertex placement. We'll move on to the ball of the nose. We'll use a polygon, a sphere to start, and we'll make it 8 and 6. For our subdivisions. We'll place this down here and scale it, and we want to also do that in the side. So we'll place that there. And we want the pole of the sphere facing us front. So we'll hold down the J key and just rotate that forward. We'll delete 1/2. We're working on 1/2. So just select those faces and hit delete. And we'll delete the back half, so we'll end up with just a quarter of our sphere. And we'll rotate this down so that the pole is true to the point of the nose there. Don't forget that you can hit your X-ray icon here to see a little bit better. And we'll use a second sphere for the nostril. We'll come and same numbers, 8 and 6. We'll position this, we'll scale it, and for this sphere, we want the pole facing sideways. So we're going to hold down the J key, and we're looking at the pole, right? So this is pole forward, and this is pole sideways. We'll delete the front half, and once again, we'll end up with a quarter. We'll delete that half. And we've got the beginnings of our nostril. Now let's delete these edges. And we'll come and delete these edges, and just so that we have quads on both of those. Okay, and let's look in the side view, and we can rotate this forward a little bit and position it about there. We're going to grab these three edges, 1, 2, 3. Take a look at those, and we're going to extrude those, pull out on the Z, and then we'll follow this around. So this is going to be that tricky part where we want a crease here, and it flows all the way around and ultimately down to the corner of the mouth. So we'll just get that shape going, and then we're going to add a edge loop, Shift Control key, and then we'll come and grab this edge, two edges here. So take a look at that, 1, 2, and we'll extrude, and just, you can drive the offset. It's following that parent angle. And then we're going to weld these together. So we'll come and grab vertex, come to target weld. The merge method is target, and we'll drag and drop, and drag and drop. Anytime we have two tries with a shared edge, we can delete that edge and we'll be left with a quad. I'll just hit delete. There are no leftover vertexes, so I could just use the delete key. And then just so we can see that it is indeed a quad, we'll push that back a little bit. This would be a good place to save, increment and save, because as we go forward, there's potential for mistakes, so it's always good to be able to come back to a good plateau point. We're going to combine these, but we always want to check in the various views, and we can see there that we needed to pull that over, and you could rotate it slightly so that it's following that a little bit better. So there are our three pieces. We'll hit the 3 key, the 3 elements, and now we'll combine and then bridge between the shapes. Come into one, and we'll hit combine, and we're going to bridge here. We'll come and hit the bridge, and then we want an extra division, so we'll hit one more there. We'll use that geometry. We'll come to the bottom 3 edges of the nose, and then 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll hit bridge, and we'll give ourselves one extra division there. Now we're going to take this edge and this edge. So take a look there, the 2 edges that we have selected, and we'll hit bridge, and then we'll weld that little leftover vertex there. So and when you're using the target weld, or when you go into vertex, sometimes your previous vertex selection is still there. So it's a good habit just to click off, or click once, left click, and then use your target weld. If you get other vertexes welded in inadvertently, you just hit undo and try it again. But good habit to just click off and make sure no other vertexes are selected. Okay, and we'll bridge here. We'll bridge here. And that has left us with one final quad. We'll double click that edge loop, and we can just go up to mesh, fill hole, and we have that quad. Now we'll do, ultimately we'll do a lot of fine tuning on these positions, but as I mentioned, we're more concerned now with just the topology. And as you could see, this would probably be closer to up here, and we can relax these. But the important thing is that we've got the right number of edges, and we've got the right flow of those edges. And Yeah, because we'll be able to use sculpt. You could even use this nose, make it bigger, smaller, wider, narrower, um, any number of things. And hit the 3 key just to see how that's working. And then our accomplishment here is getting this nice shape where the nostril meets the face or the cheek. All right, let's keep going. We're going to certainly want to increment and save. We're going to grab these 2 edges here, take a look, and in the front view, I'm going to just pull those out a little bit. I'm going to follow this line here. And so we'll hit extrude, and we'll just pull that straight down. And in the front view, right, we'll pull it over. And we'll just relax these vertexes real quick, just so that we can see better. These can be pulled out a little bit, but again, we won't be too overly concerned with the position of vertexes. We're just trying to get the topology right. All right, the bottom of the nose, right, these are off from the center, so I'll make that yellow arrow, right? This would be my X, and we'll hold down the V key and middle mouse button, and that matched it to that vertex. We'll grab again, my X is still yellow, V key, middle mouse button, and so those are all snapped straight. Before we proceed and pull that down, we're going to grab this face and delete it. Right. We'll grab this edge, and we deleted that because we need to drive this down. This will be the area between the nose, bottom of the nose and the top of the mouth. So we'll hit extrude, and we'll pull that down. And we can look in both views, right? This is coming forward in this view. And I've pulled off from the center line, so I'll just grab that, and right, our X is active, V key, I would say X key, sorry, middle mouse button. I could have V snapped to one of these vertexes, or just, as I did here, snap to the grid. And we actually want this back, so this is flipped a little bit. We want to pull that forward. Right, so that it's contouring around. Right, this is further forward in the Z direction. And we've got that tapered around. Okay, now we can bridge. We'll come and put a extra edge here. And with those 2 positions, we can grab these 2 edges and bridge. So it would have been hard to create that angle. It was easier for us to take this line, the front line, and now we're bridging between those. I'll grab that edge, and we'll hit bridge. And so now you see it's working its way around the top of the mouth. You can see the top of the mouth there, and that would be the corner. All right, we'll extrude the nostrils up. So these 2 faces, take a look. We'll hit extrude, and I'm just going to click on the cube, and we'll scale those in. And we'll extrude once more. And we'll pull up in world space. We don't want to go over that center line. So we're just pulling straight up in world space. We can see that here. And if you want to add a division, that's probably a good idea, and then we'll scale that in. Maybe grab that edge, double click, and then maybe scale that up. And depending on the view of your camera, this may or may not be an important angle, but we'll relax the nostril in this direction. And if we look at our reference on the side, right, this is pulled up. You can see the nostril from the side. Now when we pull that up, we'll also want to make some adjustments on these vertexes and pull them up. So you can see the nose, right, if we're starting at the point, it kind of comes up and then down around. and you get that classic side nostril view. Maybe we want to position this with the 3 on. And in the front view, right, we can see that kind of classic nostril shape. All right, a little bit of housekeeping down here. We need an extra edge here. I don't want to just put in an entire edge loop because I really only need it here. Up here, the topology is fine, so I don't want to add to that. What we'll do is delete this edge. Oops, excuse me. We'll grab that edge, hit delete, come to the multi-cut, and we'll just drive this out straight, which means we can drive this one down. And we'll come at an angle and then hit this one at about 50%. Yeah, shift key to hit that. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 for the top of our mouth. We may need to add some additional, but we'll model the mouth next, and then we'll just bridge back between the way that we've done here with our nostrils. Okay, and then probably the last little bit for our nose, we'll extrude this. Again, we always want to shape in both views, or we typically are shaping in both views. You can see that here. So these should probably taper up. And we'll pull this one kind of out. And we'll get a view in the front. And that's about right. We'll taper also in this direction, following that general line. And now we can bridge down. Edge, shift edge. We'll hit bridge. And there is our nose shape. Side down to the mouth. And if you want to get a view of it, we can temporarily mirror it. We'll make our merge threshold 0.1. And right, this is a little bit narrow. So sometimes it's easier to see when you've got the full shape. That was kind of hard to see that we were very narrow there. Oops. So we could pull that out. Shift select these, pull these out. Yeah, something like that. Right, we can do some contouring down here. That should probably be pushed up. But I'll say it one last time, we're really most concerned about the topology, the edge flow, the number of edges, how they flow, and the fact that we have all quads. And anywhere we have one of these stars where more than 4 are coming together, they're kind of strategically placed. So certainly that gives us this indentation. And then as that nostril hits the front of the face, right, we've got that there. Okay. Questions in the discussion forum. Have a good one.